crazy, man. It's getting absolutely crazy. A lot of shit is happening, man. We're gonna discuss this shit because there's a lot of spooky shit happening right now in the city of Philadelphia right now. What a crazy time right now. Wow. Wow is what I will say. Wow. Let me get this up on the screen. Let me see. I cannot believe this shit. I can believe it, but I can't believe this shit. I mean, shit is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse as the year 2022 goes on. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Let me get up on this. How do I take this off? Let me clean my glasses too. There we go. Okay. Oh man, does not bring me joy to report this news to you. But if you haven't heard as of yet, and actually, like I said, let me go ahead and pull this up. Do a little bit of a screen share here with y'all. If you live under a freaking rock and you are in the surrounding area of Philadelphia, even up to as far as Connecticut as well, so New York, New Jersey, everybody in between Connecticut, and I would even say Virginia. Really, any state in between Connecticut and Virginia, you need to be listening up. Share this podcast with your loved ones, man, because they definitely gonna want to hear this, man. What is going on, my friends? It is your boy Jock Quick of the Talk That Lingo crew. Talk that lingo very fast, and like I always say, it's absolutely harder to keep money than to get it. Unfortunately, we live in a time where it's harder to enjoy yourself when it's nice out than it ever has been before. So like I said, once again, if you live under a rock and you're from Connecticut to Virginia, if you live anywhere, any city in between those two states, you may have heard, really this is something that may be ringing around the world, but you may have heard last night there was a deadly mass shooting on South Street in South Philadelphia last night, June 4th, 2022, where 14 people were shot and 3 people were pronounced dead this morning. It is a very unfortunate slew of events because it looks like an officer saw a gunman firing into a crowd of people on South Street in Philadelphia shortly after midnight. And police said that the gunman fired his gun at another shooter. So apparently this was a double shooting. The people were shooting at each other. They were running into crowds, whatever the case may be. All we all know is at least 14 people were shot. 3 people are unfortunately deceased due to those shots being let off last night. And what I want to say, and you probably saw the title of this live video, no more outside festivals. Outside just ain't it anymore. I'm sorry. Outside just ain't it anymore. We cannot go outside in nice weather and enjoy ourselves appropriately and not have things like this happen to us. Let me change my logo up there. Gotta change the logo for something else to say. There we go. That's the official Talk That Lingo spaceman right here. Look up to the left-hand corner of the screen, not my screen, the actual screen. You'll see the official Talk That Lingo spaceman. He's right there, up in the corner. An unfortunate slew of events, man. Philadelphia seems to be getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Especially as the summertime peaks, the weather is getting nicer. You know what 50 Cent said? 50 Cent said, it's hot out this bitch. That's a good enough reason. You know what I mean? That was one of his lyrics from Get Rich or Die Trying, where it's hot out. It's so nice outside that people are coming outside more frequently, and they're not leaving their straps or their guns at home when they do so. I thought it was a UPS man. But a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. It is an absolutely gorgeous Sunday. It looks like, as of right now, it is 72 with a high of 78. So it's going to be nice again today. Unfortunately, like I said, in Philadelphia, it's become, you know how like people say like Atlanta is like a hotbed, like it's like a melting pot of everybody. Like when I think of a melting pot, unfortunately, I think of like it being hot outside and everybody coming outside with guns. Unfortunately, that's what I think about. It's just a sad thing. Last night, one of my cousins actually happened to have tickets to the Roots picnic. I called my cousin this morning to just check up on my cousin. I just had to check up on my cousin. I know the shooting wasn't at the Roots picnic in Fairmount Park at the Mann Center, but I just had to call and check up on my cousin. And the reason why is because every single time there is a mass shooting, there happens to be some sort of festival going on. There happens to be some sort of mass gathering. People gathering in abundance. Whenever these shootings go on, it's a gathering of people, whether it be a school, whether it be a Vegas hotel, whether it be a concert. Namely, outside festivals are typically targets for mass shootings. Now, I know we don't have a ton of mass shootings throughout the year, so it's probably like one of those things where, you don't have to take too many precautions when you're going to like some of these outside events. But here's the thing, what I will say, right? Most of the mass shootings take place in places where people gather outside. Now, obviously, the school shooting is a little bit different because they're inside of a place. However, what I will say, when you get a group of people to gather for one single reason in any venue or for any event or for any reason, you should suspect that there could be a potential for somebody to perform a mass shooting. Unfortunately, in Philadelphia, it was, and you know what really, really shocked me when I called my cousin to check up on my cousin this morning, when I was telling my cousin about the mass shooting happening in Philadelphia, she couldn't believe me. She couldn't, like, are you serious? I'm like, look, it's Philadelphia. If I say anything about a shooting, you should be able to believe me. It's one of those things, man. It's just very, very unfortunate that we live in a time and an era where, people have guns, people have ghost guns, people have guns that people can't trace. I remember back in the day, one of the only untraceable guns was a 38 Special. That was untraceable. It was untraceable. Now, people got regular guns, regular Glocks, regular Smith and Wessons, regular AR-15s, and all this stuff, and they're just untraceable. It's just unfortunate, man. It's just really unfortunate, man. So, what I would absolutely highly, highly recommend, if you have tickets to any show moving forward, I want you to consider not going. Just don't go. I mean, as fun as it sounds, as much money as you probably spent on those tickets to go to this great event, I really want a lot of people to consider not going to some of these events. Because here's the thing. When I was talking to my cousin was telling me about how, she really didn't suspect anything could happen at this particular event because the crowd was a much older crowd. And I'm like, okay, no, I understand that. But after a while, when you hit a certain age, you reach a certain age, outside festival music events outside where people are gathering in masses and in large amounts, they should be off limits. They are a no for certain age groups. Like, okay, let alone any outside music festival. As when you reach a certain age, your ass should stop going to these music festivals. I mean, it shouldn't. You shouldn't be going to these outside venues where these music festivals are happening late at night. My cousin was telling me that she wanted to go and see Mary J. Blige at the Mann Center at this Roots picnic last night. Unfortunately, Mary J. Blige showed up 2 hours late. So Mary J. Blige was supposed to go on at 9 p.m. last night. Mary J. Blige wound up not hitting the stage until 11 p.m. last night. Well, Mary J. Blige, if you don't know, this is Philadelphia. So I don't care how old the crowd was. This is Philadelphia. All right? If you say you're going to be in Philadelphia at 9 p.m. so your set can be done by 11 so people can be on their way home and home by 11:30, 11:45, that's what needs to happen. You can't show up to Philadelphia 2 hours late and have people leaving the venue at 12:30, 1 o'clock because you wanted to show up 2 hours late. Okay, so here's the thing, because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, she's an artist, she deserves the right to do this, do that. Well, listen, here's the thing. This is Philadelphia. The freaks come out at night. You understand what I'm saying? The freaks come out at night. In Philadelphia, the freaks come out at night. And no, I don't mean the sexy freaks. The freaks come out at night in Philadelphia. So if you are going to go have a show in Philadelphia, first and foremost, you need to be on time. Secondly, you need to be mindful of the time that you are supposed to go on, because if you're supposed to go on at 9, you can be late, but you can't be more than 30 minutes late, because if you are 2 hours late and your set doesn't start until 11 o'clock, that means people aren't going to be able to leave there until past midnight. And when did this shooting happen? This shooting right here, a little past midnight. This shooting right here happened shortly before midnight. Now, I don't want to say that this is Mary J. Blige's fault, this shooting, because the Roots picnic and this mass shooting has nothing to do with one another. However, what I will say is that outside ain't it anymore. If you want to listen, let me take a drink. If you want to go to some of these music festivals and things like that, don't get me wrong, a lot of these festivals, a lot of these concerts be fun. I enjoy myself a good concert every once in a while. I will be honest with you. But at a certain point, we really, really must decide what is more meaningful. Us to have fun at this outside event or this large gathering, or for us to be here, presence in the moment, in being able to see our children, our family, or our parents, or godparents, or it's just one of those, our cousins. It's just one of those things where it's just unfortunate for something like this to happen anywhere, let alone Philadelphia. And like I did say earlier, I mean, I don't think that the Roots picnic and this mass shooting had anything to do with one another. But what I do think that with the Roots picnic happening at the Mann Center in Fairmount Park, probably a lot of the police presence was at the Roots picnic and not necessarily on South Street just before midnight, just before this shooting happened. Now, there was a police officer there who was able to witness some of these events, but it's still just unfortunate, man. It's still just really unfortunate. So prayers go out to the 14 people shot in this unfortunate mass shooting. And prayers go out to all of the families of these 14 people people shot, and the families of the school shooting as well that happened not too long ago in Texas. It's just unfortunate, man, that we continue to see, these different acts of violence when people are gathering in the masses. Like it's just terribly, terribly, terribly unfortunate. And like I said, what I will say, I said earlier to my cousin, if the city of Philadelphia really, because listen, as of right now, nobody wants to be a police officer in the city of Philadelphia. We don't have enough cops in the city of Philadelphia, and nobody wants to be a cop in the city of Philadelphia. You understand me? And that's what leads to a slew of just gun violence against, other civilians or among other civilians. So what I will say is that, and like I said this earlier to my cousin, the two worst professions to be right now in the world, one, especially in Philadelphia, but definitely in the world, number one is a police officer. The second worst profession to have right now today is to be a rapper. Police officers and rappers have an awful profession right now. Right now, it's just bad to be one of those professions right now. You got rappers getting locked up for hearsay. You got rappers getting RICO charges for hearsay. You got cops not doing their actual jobs because the police departments are short-staffed. They can't really rely on one another other than to lie for one another. It's just an unfortunate cycle of events going on right now, and for rappers and for police officers for different reasons. Now, obviously, like I said, you got rappers getting the RICO charge for hearsay or phone calls or whatever the case may be, destroying evidence, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure what's going on, but these are the things that are being said. For black rappers, they're getting arrested for hearsay. They're getting arrested for things that people do not necessarily know is true, right? But then you get a white person who has a gun, and they get caught in 4K shooting and killing people, and they get off. So understand that you got a black rapper getting charged to like a kingpin, to the highest order, to the highest degree, for phone calls and text messages and rap lyrics. And then you got somebody who's actually on camera in video shooting and killing another person, and then that person just gets off with absolute no repercussions. It's just unfortunate. It's one of those things, like I said, after the Roots picnic, even though this shooting here did not have anything to do with the Roots picnic, I just had to pick up the phone and call a couple people that I know, because it's like, yo, are you okay? Tell me you are okay. Answer your phone. That's all I need you to do. Just answer your phone. That's it. Yeah, man, unfortunate times that we live in, man. Let me know in the comments if you know anybody who was either on South Street last night, or if you know anybody that went to the Roots picnic. Heck, let me know what you think or make of all of this mass shooting shit. I mean, it blows my mind that something hasn't been done to combat some of this shit. I mean, honestly, and what can you do, really? Like, what can you do other than, I don't even know. I'm glad this ain't my job to figure it out, because my only job that I have is to keep myself and my family and my immediate close friends and family safe. That's all I can worry about, man. One thing at a time, man. But it's your boy John Quick, Talk That Lingo crew, Talk That Lingo very fast. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you drop us a like. Make sure you drop us a comment. And if you do not follow us here on the Facebook page, make sure y'all follow us over there on the YouTube page. Listen, if you are in here, drop us a like, man. It's quick and easy. Like I said, let us know, man, how you feeling about this whole unfortunate series of events, man. It's a bunch of crazy nonsense going on. But outside ain't it. Outside ain't it no more. Outside festivals aren't it anymore. It's just not it anymore. So if you got any outside festivals that you are planning on going on, I strongly, once again, I'm gonna say it again, I strongly consider you, or I strongly would recommend that you consider not going. Okay. With that being said, man, it's your boy John Quick. Hopefully y'all have a beautiful Sunday, man. Game 2 of the finals is tonight. Let me know in the comments who y'all got tonight. I got the Celtics again. Made a couple dollars off the Celtics winning. I need them to win this game because I will get the bag if they win. Let's get it. Shout out to Celtics, man. Let me know who you got in the NBA finals tonight and in the whole series. It's your boy John Quick signing out. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Let's get it.